When I look at this photo, I think of what these women described to me in their family lives about when they have access to modern contraceptives and when they don't. They talk about the opportunities for their family. We went bold and we said, you know, millions and millions of women should have access to these modern contraceptives. And I think the way this family planning work has changed me is it's made me more certain of what I'm hearing from the women that I can now see in the data, and where we haven't had data, where we're collecting data, I can actually see the patterns and trends, and I know we're on the right track. Oh, the foundation's first offices were on the second floor of this old brick building above Big Time Pizza. We never could have imagined that we were going to go from small office over a pizza parlor to what we are doing now globally as a foundation, and the number of experts who we get to work with who come through our doors. We made our first large investment in the children's vaccine program. We knew that these were risky things. We knew that we had so much to learn, and we knew there was invention that needed to happen. And so for all of those reasons, it felt incredibly hard, and like we might fail, that we might take these risks and not succeed. But we're swinging for the fences as the work has come along and we've listened to partners and learned even more about the barriers. You realize there's so much work to be done. In 2014, around the foundation, while we had fantastic programs like agriculture, or financial services for the poor, we weren't really thinking about gender. So I wrote this science article to really start to talk about what's important about gender and how do we take a gender lens across the work inside the foundation. And now we're looking at this issue, we're trying to face it head on, we're collecting data, and we're beginning to make investments. And when you do those three things, you can absolutely make progress against gender equality. Some of the most touching moments in the United States are when these Gates Millennium Scholars come up and speak with us or give us a note. And it's deeply moving, I think, because I know the difference that college education made in my life. The U.S. education work over time, by far, has been the hardest thing we've taken on. We didn't understand how difficult it would be to change a system that is not serving all kids well, but we're deeply committed because every single child in the United States deserves a great education. I hope in 20 years we can look back and say, wow, we made a difference in kids' lives and opened new opportunities to them that maybe their parents didn't have. When we started in this work, we were going into whole fields Bill and I knew very little about. You're working on the world's most difficult problems, the things that society has left behind. We are not done yet. We're by no means done in terms of the work we need to take on or do with our partners, but I'm proud about how we're approaching it. If you take a long-term view on something and you set a strategy and you're willing to listen to experts, learn in the field, the progress is absolutely possible.